So it's basically that time of the year where I'm looking to make unique builds. Not necessarily like the most meta comp type of build, although I do think this build can definitely be that. So this year we've made Kobe Bryant builds and stuff like that, especially in the beginning of the year. Now I think that's a pretty viable option, and we even got to mess around with like a Michael Jordan type of build. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've got the perfect Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant type of build. The build gets lock takeover, it gets shot creating or sharp takeover, slashing takeover, and post scoring takeover, while having Hall of Fame shooting and having Hall of Fame finishing badges. As you guys can see, I've got tons of VC, so I do plan on making a few more builds, and I'll show you kind of how many slots I have open. I believe I'll have 3 or 4 more slots open, so definitely let me know down below in the comment section if there's any builds you guys want to see me make, because at this point in the year, I'm kind of open to making anything. As you guys can see in the bottom right, I am in Elite 1. I'm getting there as quick as I can. I'm trying to play a lot. So by the end of June, I know there's a lot of events coming up. I'm going to be playing those a ton. Let me know if you guys want to see those being streamed. I think on the 27th or 28th, they have a 3v3 in the park, which is double XP all day long. So let me know down below in the comment section if you guys want to see me stream that, because honestly, those 3 or 4 days are going to be insane. But hey guys, I'm going to show you guys the build that I do plan on making. Let me know what you guys think about it down below in the comment section. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to give you the whole thought process behind my build. Like I said, it is May now, so we got to play a lot of this game, so I kind of understand how all the mechanics work. But if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and drop a like on the video. Go ahead and subscribe too. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I said, I've wanted to make this build for a very long time. This is my 7'3" post score build that I've already made. You guys have seen. I made that very early on. This is my Giannis build. This is the stretch build. And then this is the build that I wanted to make next. This is the build I've been sitting on for a very long time. You guys can see it says updated 4.14. I honestly think it's been probably longer than that, to be honest with you, because I kind of messed around with it then. So I've been sitting on this build for months, and I finally think it's time to bring it out. Now we've got the Michael Jordan build. This is the build, like I said, I wanted to do for a while. The only thing that's a little bit different, you have to make it a small forward. If you don't want the post scoring takeover, hey, don't worry about it. But that's what I think is going to make this build a lot of fun, especially when we take it to like the 2s court or the 1s court. Having post scoring takeover, still being able to get contact dunks and shoot the basketball, it's going to be a lot of fun. So you got to go small forward if you want that option. Now my Kobe Bryant build before was this pie chart. It's a good pie chart. You can get contact dunks off the rip, so if you don't want to grind too much, this is definitely a build you can make. But we're finally gonna bring our talents to the half green, half blue pie chart. You might be thinking it looks bad, but trust me, once you put the work into this build, it's gonna be a ton of fun. Now I've seen a lot of people go with the pure speed. Now it's a good pie chart. Pure speed is pretty solid. We're not gonna really worry about strength too much, because I played a lot of builds with like very low strength, and we're still throwing out paint beasts out of the way. So strength, in my opinion, not the most important thing on this game. So we're gonna go with the, I want to get a little bit higher vertical. I think a vertical, it does matter this year with dunks and stuff like that. So 82 vertical, only a -3 speed. Once we get to 99, and then we'll have the Gatorade boost as well, we're looking pretty good in that aspect, especially since we're going to be 6'5". Now I will say, if you guys don't care about getting all these different takeovers, if you're not really high on getting like shot creating or sharp takeover, you don't really care about getting lock takeover, definitely go back and check out Joe Knows. He uploaded a video not too long ago. It's a pretty solid build too. So if you just care about post scoring takeover, that might be an option for you. But I kind of want to give this one, I still think it's really good, and at Legends going to be very solid as well. But if you want like sharp takeover, you want shot creating, or even lockdown takeover, this is definitely going to be the build for you. So what we're going to go ahead and do is max out the close shot. Of course, the driving layup will be maxed out as well, and then we're going to go ahead and max out the driving dunk. What I'm going to do for this build, I know a lot of people would want to do post hooks, but if you haven't played current gen in a while, or you haven't tested out a post score and you've just seen like rumors of how good post hooks are, they've been significantly nerfed. I don't think I will be touching post hooks on a build like this. I think post scoring takeover is still going to be fun, tossing people out of the way. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and max out our standing dunk to a 78, giving us 14 finishing. We probably could get a little bit more if we decide to max out the post hook, but again, that's going to take away attributes. I don't really care about post hooks that much. I just want to be able to dunk on people. 3-point shot, we're going to go ahead and max out to a 76, and then our mid-range shot, we're going to go ahead and go to a 74. Now there's different ways you can do this, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about after we're done with this one. But for right now, this build will be getting sharpshooting takeover. If you change these two around, like you go less on this one and max out your mid-range, You will be able to get shot creating takeover. I still think, you know, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to shoot with a lower mid-range than a lower three-pointer. So what I would do is go ahead and just make it 74 just for the sake of it. Go ahead and max out that post fade, which is really all you need. Plus one of the free throw, you've got 15 shooting. Ball handle, go ahead and max that out. We will be able to get pro dribble moves after we get to a certain part, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. Pass accuracy, we're gonna go all the way up until we get 13, which I believe, yep, 67 right there. So that's really solid. The lateral quickness, go ahead and max it out. The perimeter defense, go ahead and max it out. Steal, we want to go ahead and max that out as well. And then we're gonna go to our defensive rebounding and go up as much as we can. And we got 4 defensive badges right there. So if you guys want to run clamps or on like silver, you know, intimidator, whatever the case is, like I said earlier, my main thing I want to do with this build is just making sure it's good at legend. So if this build is going to be good at legend, it's gonna have 24, 25, 23, and 14. I think that's pretty solid, and we actually have pretty good, you know, upgrades here with steal, lateral quickness, perimeter defense, and we can get some rebounds as well. What I'm going to do with this build, I'm going to go ahead and make it built. I think define doesn't look that great this year. So I think we're going to go with built. We're going to go 6'5", and at this point, you guys can see how much of our, you know, stats are going to be upgraded already. Just so we go to 6'5", you can see we're going to be faster. We're going to have a better vertical. Accelerations are going to be looking pretty good too. Our weight, I do believe it doesn't matter. I think the lowest you can go is a 210, and you can still get post takeover, and you're getting that +1 to the acceleration. Then our wingspan is going to be an 86. I do believe if you go any lower, you're not going to be able to get the post scoring takeover, and then again, you won't be able to get all the contact dunks. You go with that 86 wingspan, you're going to get all the contact dunks at 99 overall. At 98 overall, you'll have an 83 pointer, which is really good, especially with Hall of Fame shooting badges. And at 98 overall as well, you're going to be able to get pro dribble moves. And we're still going to have like an 80 perimeter defense on a build like this is crazy. An 87 steal, very high rebounding defensively, good post moves, just all around a very cool build. And as you guys can see, we get tons of options. This is why I like this one. Now, like I said, I would say if you guys don't really care about, you know, getting sharpshooting or shot creating takeover, you know, you can go check out Joe No's video. He has one that's, I think you only get post scoring and lock, or post scoring and slasher takeover. Like I said earlier, if you take a couple off here and put it onto mid range, I do believe you get the same thing. You get the option to pick shot creating takeover instead of sharp. So it's up to you at the end of the day. If you really want this build with shot creating takeover, which honestly would be pretty solid to me, this kind of reminds me of my build from 2K20. But if you just care about post scoring, like I said, go check out Joe's build. But if you care about like having sharp or lock takeover, I think this build is the build for you. And I just found out too, if you really want to get the best of both worlds, make a 75 mid-range, make this a 75 three-pointer, go ahead and go all the way through it, go 6'5", 210, and then give the max wingspan. You'll have an 80 mid-range and an 80 three-point shot, which I honestly think that's what I'm going to be going with. And then again, like I said, you have all the same takeovers and you get shot creating. But again, like I said, I showed you guys earlier, if you want sharp really badly, I think that would be pretty cool too. You could definitely make it that way, or if you want shot creating, make it this way. We're going to go with post scoring takeover, and we're going to go ahead and see what this gives us. The name is just going to be a slasher, which, you know, nothing crazy, but it's still a really cool build. I'm going to show you guys this part of the build right here. I always think this is really important once we're going to go ahead and make a lot of these current gen builds. Right now, you can see the physicals. We have an 80 speed, an 83 vertical, and we have the 79 acceleration. What you guys are going to want to do is add a +8 to this. So an 88 speed, a 91 vertical, a 70 or an 87 acceleration. That's really good, especially on a build that's going to be playing a lot of the twos and a lot of the ones court. You don't need that much speed, but having that high vertical to get more contact dunks is definitely something you're going to want to do. Now on a Michael Jordan build, I have noticed a lot of my Giannis build, I've kind of messed around with it. Having silver fancy footwork, I still get a lot of stun animations. Relentless finisher will help you get contact dunks as well, but this is kind of where you can mess around with it. If you don't care about acrobat and making like layups, you could probably do something like this and then put slithery on here. This is most likely what I would do, but if I wanted to use like Michael Jordan's layup packages for a video, I'd probably throw on acrobat, at least on gold. Then, like I said, sharp badges really are up to you. The main thing I would recommend is range extender on this game. It does help you shoot mid ranges. Hot zone hunter, Hall of Fame, deep phase, green machine, whatever else you guys want to use. This is probably something I would mess around with for videos on this build. If I'm messing around on the 1v1 court, especially if I decide to use shot creating takeover, you can have space creator, break somebody's ankles, get a pluckable post spin by them, handles for days, quick first step. So 13, definitely good enough. And like I said, once we get legend, we can start messing around with like ankle breakers and stuff like that. Defensively, this is probably something I would do, just having clamps on silver and intimidator. Like I said, this build is mainly for legend. So once you get to legend, or once I get to legend, this is what's going to be a lot of fun to use. Let me know down below what you guys think about the build. If you made it this far, I'm going to show you guys the jump shot that I've been using. This is the jump shot that I use. Jump shot 98, Rudy Gay, and Damian Lillard. That's just the perfect jump shot for me. I think it looks really smooth. And what I do that a lot of people probably don't understand is go 75% speed. You could go 100, but I think 75 is just a little bit easier to time. I've been using this, like I said, on builds with low three-pointers, high three-pointers, mid three-pointers, like an 80. It still works very well. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a like. You know, let me know, guys, what you think about this build. And of course, like I said, make sure you guys comment any other builds you guys want to see me make. I have a lot of VC and a couple slots open. Hey, I appreciate your guys' support. Until next time, it's been your boy Dignifying. I'm out. Peace.